At this point in time, I am going to call the Crystal Council meeting to order. Let's start with roll call, please.
Councilmember Kaiser.
Here.
Councilmember LaRoche.
Here.
Councilmember Parsons. Absent. Mayor Adams.
Here.
Councilmember Banks.
Here.
Councilmember Budashevsky.
Here.
Councilmember Cummings.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, thank you. Let's rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we have an agenda before us. Looking for a motion on that. Nancy?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
All right, thank you. Brendan?
So moved.
All right, roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Cummings.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaiser.
Aye.
Councilmember LaRoche.
Aye.
Councilmember Parsons. Mayor Adams.
Aye.
Councilmember Banks.
Aye.
Councilmember Budashevsky.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you. We have a consent agenda before us as well, and I will read that into the record at this point in time. First item is the approval of the minutes from the work session on February 11th and February 16th, and the council meeting on February 16th as well. Then approval of the list of license applications submitted by the city clerk to the city council that is on file in the city clerk's office. And then final item is approval of a resolution accepting the donation of $41 from the donation boxes for the Crystal Police Explorers. So thank you for filling those donation boxes, everyone. Looking for a motion on this. Brendan?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
All right, thank you. Looking for a second. Therese?
I will second it.
All right, roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Kaiser.
Aye.
Councilmember LaRoche.
Aye.
Councilmember Parsons. Mayor Adams.
Aye.
Councilmember Banks.
Aye.
Councilmember Budashevsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Cummings.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone here for open forum? I'm seeing nobody unusual.
Or online.
No staff, nobody? Okay. Anybody online? I see nobody online. We will skip by open forum for today and move on to our regular agenda. We have the first item, which is traditionally our expenditures of $25,000 or greater. I'll read those into the record at this time. League of Minnesota Cities for the annual property and casualty insurance premiums for $184,168. Logis for the monthly application support and hosting, and that is $43,252. West Metro Fire Rescue District for February costs, contributions, $110,140. Bar Engineering for the Central Core Stormwater Project fees of $35,840. MinPara for employee city required contributions for pay date 2/19/21, $60,343. Total disbursements of $25,000 or greater are $433,745.22. Any questions from the council on any of these items? Pretty short list, pretty routine list. Didn't expect any questions. How about a motion? Nancy?
I will make a motion to approve the list of disbursements over $25,000.
All right, looking for a second. John?
Second that motion.
All right, let's do roll call vote.
Councilmember LaRoche.
Aye.
Councilmember Parsons. Mayor Adams.
Aye.
Councilmember Banks.
Aye.
Councilmember Budashevsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Cummings.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaiser.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right. Thank you. Second item on our regular agenda is related to our utilities reconstruction project. We have our Public Works Director, Mark Ray, here to address the council. Welcome, Mark.
Good evening, Mayor and Councils. As Matt pulls it up here, this item is fairly consistent here. It's just the approval of plans and specifications and the order of ad for bid for this year's utility reconstruction project. This year's project is kind of two different areas. The planned one was Idaho between Medicine Lake Road up to 30th, and then kind of an ad for Louisiana between Markwood Drive and 36th, which is about 175 feet. As far as communications have gone, we've done multiple direct mailings to all the homes in the project area. We've done YouTube videos on the project because we haven't had open houses. We have done one-on-one correspondence with residents in the areas. And then obviously additional mailings will be following actually later this week, as well as once the project starts underway. The cost for this is about 1.9 million. Engineer's estimate for construction is 1.65. Professional services about $250,000. The funding is 1.35. There's the breakdown there. As you can see, the funding is less than the cost. Two big things for that. The one is Louisiana Avenue, which was not in the original plan, is roughly $400,000. So once bids are open, we're going to be coming back to council at the first work session in April just to see where things are shaking out. There is funding in the long-term plan because we are planning for stuff. We would just have to make some adjustments long-term. So it's manageable this year, absolutely, with just some adjustments. But that's once we have better numbers, we'll come back to you. So the second reason is all we have. So this year's cost estimate was based on last year's project, which was impacted by COVID and a lot of uncertainty because we went out for bid in the same time frame when everything was kind of ramping up. And so our sample size is very small for kind of the data in this COVID or post-COVID world. So we're curious to see what impact that has on the cost as well. So from that estimate, it's an estimate, but the sample size is very small. That's kind of what I'm trying to go with that. So again, we'll be touching base in early April with the council once we've actually opened bids. It's important to note CenterPoint Energy will be completing some work prior to the city project. As always, they'll be doing some gas work, service laterals, moving some gas meters outside. They'll be directly communicating with residents that'll be impacted by that work. So tonight, the motions before the council, there's two of them. Approve the plans and specifications for the project, and then authorize the ad for bid for the project. With that, are there any questions?
Questions from the council? Nancy?
Mark, the optional sanitary sewer service program, the notes in our packets say that 16 properties or 42% expressed interest in participating in that. Are there fees involved with that, or is it a loan, or how does that finance?
So the project stuff is completely optional. So as part of the projects, we do have an item in there for lining of all sanitary sewer service laterals. So if residents are interested, it's not quite too late, but we're getting close to contact us. We do need to do a televised inspection of their lateral. There's no cost for that. And then they won't actually commit to it once you all actually have awarded the contract and we have an actual price for them to sign on. As far as how they pay for that, there's a couple different options. They're more than welcome to just, write the city a check eventually. If they don't, they can choose to have it put on their taxes. So basically be a special assessment.
Voluntary.
But it's completely up to them. Or they could go to a bank and get a loan for it too. I mean, that's really entirely up to them and how they want to handle that.
Okay, thank you.
Brenda, did you have something?
No question.
No? Therese?
I'm just curious, typically what would it cost for a homeowner to have the pipe redone at that point?
I believe it was in the neighborhood of $5,000 last year. The important thing to note, and we've done a much better job this year than last year, is from the start, talking about the home improvement grants that are eligible. I believe it covers up to 40%, John, of the costs. And so a number of our properties did participate in that last year. And I actually think that's why we have such a high interest, is because from day one we said, here's an optional program and here's a funding mechanism for it. So yeah, we are about 20% higher for participation, even of just interest, than normally. So that's really good to see.
That's
Typically,
fantastic.
how long does that last for the homeowner?
For the lining,
Yeah,
so they're gonna tell you it's 60 years. I'm gonna say the sanitary sewers that were there now were original, and those were clay pipe, and they've been there 60 years. So I think we're gonna be well beyond that long term. It's basically a plastic pipe that's being put in there.
okay, thank you.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
It's really cool to see.
I mean, to have that high participation helps us with infiltration too.
Oh, absolutely.
That's great. Talking to people last year, just like to have some kudos for Mick. I've heard some really good things about his ability to communicate and run that project. This
He's
is a rock
absolutely his baby, and
Yeah.
from like day one of me starting is like, look, Mick, recon is your baby. That's your deal. So there's other stuff we'll move out of the way because They are very disruptive, and we don't want to,
Yes.
we do not want to try to undersell that at all to her. It will be dusty, it will be dirty, and it will be frustrating, but the end, it will be better than it is today, and that's the
some
important thing to
trees
keep
end
in
up
mind.
getting removed too, and
Exactly.
people forget that. So that's awesome. All right, any other questions? All right, looking for a motion? Brendan?
Can I do both at the same time, or do we have to do two separate?
You can do both. You can do both.
Okay, I make a motion approving the resolution, approving the plans and specifications for the 2021 utility reconstruction project, and a resolution ordering advertisement for bids for the 2021 utility reconstruction project.
All right, thank you. Looking for a second? Therese?
I'll second that.
All right, thank you. Let's do a roll call vote.
Councilmember Persons, Mayor Adams,
Aye.
Councilmember Banks,
All right,
Councilmember Budashevsky,
Aye.
Councilmember Cummings,
Aye.
Councilmember Kaiser,
Aye.
Councilmember LaRoche.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mark. Next is announcements. We do only have a few of them on paper. Do I have one more? Oh,
Totally
Jeez.
missed John coming up.
We're done.
John.
John coming up there.
All right, it's Yonkers Park. John Elholm, our recreational director, is here. Welcome.
Well, good evening, Mr. Mayor, council
Good
members.
evening.
We're here tonight to talk about a couple of new playgrounds for the parks, one at Yonkers Park and the other at Valley Place Park. Both of them, coincidentally, were built the same year, back in 2001, and they're both in poor condition. So what we did starting late last summer is we started pulling some plans together and began a public engagement process. We did some online engagement, which was actually quite successful and a lot of input. The little graph on the right is just, we had two initial concepts for Valley Place Park, and this is just some of the data that came out of that and how we helped make some of those decisions. But what finally came out of that is the play area project, and what you see on the screen here is the proposed playground for Yonkers Park. And it is a combination of rubberized surfacing and engineered wood fiber. The last couple we've done have been all rubber. That rubber surface is quite expensive, so these are a little bit more of a mix of the engineered wood fibers and the rubberized surface. The next slide then is Valley Place Park. Again, a combination of different types of surfacing, but that they both essentially replace what was there in the same location. So the budgets for this, for Yonkers Park, was from the Parks Fund is $175,000, and at Valley Place Park is $325,000. Yonkers is a neighborhood park, and Valley Place is a community park, so a little bit more of a destination location. Then the quotes that came in from Landscape Structures was $170,685 for Yonkers and $311,661 for Valley Place. And the city will have a separate contract for doing the engineered wood fiber. That's a cost that we do every year for our playground, so we have a pretty good handle on that. So that's the cost for that. So they both are under budget. And I should point out that both of these can be purchased under state contract. So the recommendation here tonight is to approve resolution entering into agreements with Landscape Structures Incorporated to provide and install play areas at Yonkers Park in the amount of $176,8489 and at Valley Place Park in the amount of $311,661.30.
All right, John?
So the same company designed both playground sets?
Correct.
Wow, that's it's so impressive. I mean, it's, you know, just light and day from what we used to get, right? I mean, don't you think they're really cool? I mean, I wish I had young kids, right?
You can go on them, John.
Oh, that's true. That'd be kind of weird, wouldn't it?
I'm going to.
It's awesome.
Brendan?
I want to make a slight observation. So that long, on the Valley Place Park, that long sliding thing there in the back.
Yeah, the zip line type
It
thing?
is,
Yes,
okay, good.
I like the inclusive piece in there.
Oh, with the chair.
Yep. So
that is
there's one that's kind of more like just a seat-based thing, and then there's the one where you
Correct.
strap in. So
Yeah, there's a very similar one at Becker Park. And then you'll notice the rubberized surfacing goes underneath it, and that transfer point is in the center of that
Sure.
piece of equipment.
Yeah, no, I just wanted I saw that and I got excited, so.
We can't get a logo on that blue, can we, huh? Can we get a logo on that blue?
Sure. No, I don't know that for the surfacing, we'll do a logo like we did at Becker Park.
Okay. The other one's a different color, so it's not gonna look right on the other color, so forget it. All right, Nancy?
Oh, sorry. Thanks. I'm just thrilled about this too, agree with John, that it's inclusive and with Brendan's comments as well. Just had a curiosity, what happens with the old equipment?
It can't really be reused. It's in such poor condition
Yeah.
that it will end up potentially recycled.
Or something?
I'm
Okay,
I'm not sure. I haven't looked into that.
okay, thank you.
Therese?
I have a question. The Valley Place Park, can we see that again, please? Where is that pathway that goes nowhere? Why is,
I think it's not representative of the park, really, because
Hey, Matt,
I think it's,
is
Not
it for Valley Place here?
yeah, why is,
Oh, that's the existing trail. That goes, they just didn't, their
Oh,
focus
okay.
was on the playground, so
I got
that's
it.
the one that goes out towards the road.
I got it. Okay, thank
oh,
you.
I see, good catch, Teresa. Get it
Just
now.
just seemed a little odd to me, but
Yeah.
it makes sense. I'm thrilled. I think it's gonna be really fun.
All right, anything else? Real quick comment, it's, these two projects, putting these on the board and looking at what we did last year, it really, there's quite an impact when you see it on paper, what we've done with the other parks and what we've done just in the last few years, so kudos to John for making it happen
Yeah.
and also to you guys for supporting it, both financially and with your vote, so thank you. With that, motion? Nancy?
I will make a motion for a resolution in support of purchasing play areas for Yonkers Park and Valley Place Park.
Okay, looking for a second. Therese?
I will second that.
All right, roll call vote.
Mayor Adams,
Aye.
Councilmember Banks,
Aye.
Councilmember Budashevsky,
Aye.
Councilmember Cummings,
Aye.
Councilmember Kaiser,
Aye.
Councilmember LaRoche,
Aye.
Councilmember Person. Motion carries.
All right, thank you. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
All right, now the long-awaited announcements? No, not really. City Council will hold its next work session next week, which is Thursday, March 11th at 6:30 PM here at the council chambers. Next City Council meeting will be March 16th at 7 PM here at the City Hall. Both of those can be attended via Zoom as well. And just a reminder that you can listen or watch these online at our website, crystalmn.gov. Any other announcements? Nancy?
Could we remind people about neighbors, recognizing neighbors? I think that deadline's in a couple weeks, is it?
I believe that's correct. I think it's, don't quote me, March 15th, maybe?
Thanks, I was trying to call it
I
up
know.
and I failed, but. And where do people nominate again? Do they have a form on?
In their neighborhood?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. At City Hall, Community Center, and I think Mike's is taking them online too.
Excellent, thank you.
So also a reminder that applications are being taken for commissions. We've got quite a few opportunities, parks, plan,
Environmental quality?
EQC, Charter Commission. I don't know about
And the
planning.
2 blue lines.
Yep, and that's both business
Yep,
and
yep,
individuals.
one vacancy on each, correct.
So one on each. So, and that's due end of March, March 31st?
I think that's right.
Yep, I think that's right. Not bad for not actually finding it on the phone. All right. Anything else before we go? How about a motion to go?
Make a motion?
Thank you. Looking for a
I'll
second,
second.
Nancy? All right. Roll call vote.
Councilmember Banks,
Aye.
Councilmember Budashevsky,
Aye.
Councilmember Cummings,
Aye.
Councilmember Kaiser,
Aye.
Councilmember LaRoche,
Aye.
Councilmember Parsons, Mayor Adams.
Aye.
Motion carried.
All right. Thank you. That's it for today. We'll see you next week.
Short.